Hi everybody.
Hi, welcome and thanks very much for joining us. And so tonight we are going to be repurposing a tin can and making it make it into a pen pot or brushes pot or whatever you want to use it for. I've demoed this many times before, but it's always good to refresh. And I think it might have been Kay Molyneux or Sue or somebody who showed it me once first. And it's just a simple technique that looks really, really cool. So it doesn't take long, so I thought I'd just show it you tonight. And as usual, Alfie's doing a special offer for you. So rice paper, which you'll be using tonight, and slap it on matte and gloss, you're going to get 20% off tonight, so thank you very much for that. Just put rice 20 in the little voucher code when you check out and it will be automatically deducted from your total. So without further ado, hello everybody who's joined us, thank you very much indeed. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe on the bell below, and you'll be notified of all of our new videos coming online on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, a like and a share is always welcome, so thank you very much indeed. Okay, so let's go and get started. So some of the things I'm going to be using tonight, and you know it might change. So we're going to be making this, or I'm actually going to change the stamps though. I'm going to do something a bit different. So it's just a tin can, but it's great for actually using as a water carrier, or to put my pens in or brushes or whatever, and I love it. And again, thank you to, it might have been Sue Ralph, it might have been Kay Molyneux, I can't recall who actually made it first, but I love the technique, so thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to be using some black and white gesso, VersaFine, Slap It On matte. We're going to be using some acrylic paint, so we're going to be using our metallic paints. I'm using Kingfisher Blue and Emerald City, but again, I might change my mind halfway through. Rice paper. Don't worry if it's all creased and crinkled, because it doesn't matter when we actually come to use it. So this is our IndigoBlu rice paper. Okay, and you get a nice big bunch of that. I'm also going to be using a few different stamps as well. So I've pulled out a few, and I really like this hibiscus one. I love the main image with all the different layers of texture and detailing. I love this trellis. Also, we've got some beautiful splashes and writing, and also some numbers there, the pie. I've got a few others out.
Pie?
Yeah, it's pie.
Chicken pie.
Don't start me giggling. That'll be it now. Stop it. No, beef pie, shepherd's pie.
Beef onion pie.
I really quite like the chemistry lab, which I haven't used for ages, and I really love this set. So it's like, why haven't I used this for ages? So I'm going to be playing around with those. But first of all, let's get some tin cans out. These are just bean cans, ordinary everyday bean cans. So I've started off by using white gesso on the outside of the can.
These are steak and kidney.
Steak and kidney. Steak and kidney pudding. Oh, steak and kidney pudding. Or from Lancashire, meat and potato pie. From Adlington, the butchers in Adlington, the bakers in Adlington do the best meat and potato pie ever. We're going to be talking about pies all night, aren't we? You can tell. So this is the second coat. Have you heard the birds? Aren't they loud? This is the second coat of white gesso. I love our white gesso because it's just so bright white. It's got titanium in it, so titanium white, I should say. So it gives a really nice coverage. Okay, so that's the white. I'm just going to pop that over there on my radiator, and then I'm going to, when that's dry, I do the inside with black gesso. And again, this is a fabulous black. It's a real black, if you know what I mean. Really deep, rich, gorgeous black. And this is made with carbon black rather than, you know, soot black or anything else. So you get a really nice black. So I'm doing the bottom of it, and I'm also going to do the inside. So literally just, I wouldn't put your hand in just in case it's still a bit sharp, and I have sanded it off a little bit, but just cover all of the inside, which I've obviously already done on the other one. So that's using our black gesso, and then I'm going to bring back my white one, and I'll give this a blast. Now be careful, because obviously when you heat it like this, this is going to be hot. So just be careful. So whilst that's cooling down, I'm just going to get a little bit of Kingfisher blue on my paint mat. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water just to wet it down, because as you know, all of our paints are concentrated. So you can wet this down quite a bit. So let's just mix all that in. Beautiful. And I may use a little bit of Emerald City.
So Dee's asked, would you use gesso inside if going to use for water?
Yes. Yeah, I have done that actually with my tin cans. I've actually put gesso on the inside, apart from this particular one, because it was already coated with like a coating. So it's obviously during manufacture it has actually had that coating put in. But if you look right down in the bottom, you can probably just see a couple of spots of rust. So that's why I do put a couple of layers of gesso on my other tin cans. Okay, has this cooled down? Yes, that's lovely. So I'm just going to paint this up. Ooh, nice. And I just want a nice thin coating. I don't want really super thick, because I want the design of the stamps to shine through on this. And as you can see, a little goes a very long way. I've only dabbed my brush in once. And that's looking rather yummy. So, and it's good to have sort of different shades of blue in different areas as well. So that gives you a little bit of variety of colour. And
so
we've
got Pamela in Canada.
Hi Pamela.
Cherie in Scotland, and we've got Anne Godfrey from Spain.
She's made it to Spain. Excellent. And hello, who's in Scotland?
Cherie Craig.
Hi Cherie. Hi everyone. That's the lovely thing, we have people from all over the world actually, which is really fantastic. It has Tinternet is good for that, isn't it? And yeah, our friend Anne has made it to Spain in her caravan. So you can see I'm just sort of slapping it on anywhere really.
And Teresa in Essex.
Teresa in Essex. Hi Teresa. So it's almost quite mottled, the look, which is good. I want that sort of visual texture going on there. And I think because I've got paint left over, I'm just going to put a little coat on the bottom there rather than it being just flat black. There we go. And I'm just going to pop that on my radiator to dry out there. And just so that I don't waste all of this lovely paint, I'm just going to soak that up. So that was Kingfisher and Emerald City. And I'm just going to soak this up on the back of this journal page where I stamped and didn't like the stamp. There we go. I just didn't want to waste any of that lovely paint. Okay, so let's just clean that up. Next job, oh, let's get some stamping done, shall we? Let's turn that over. And let's get rid of those. I'd cut out, just if you're wondering, I'd cut out some black card to stick on the top with a bit of Slap It On Super Thick, like that, and then paint it so that I can see the colours when they're in the drawer. Okay, so let's get a piece of rice paper, a full piece, there we go. Alright, so this is an A3 size, so it's nice and big, and there are two sides to it. So if you look closely, you'll be able to see that one is sort of not rough, but visually rough, and the other one will look smoother. Okay, so you want to be stamping it on the smooth side. You can feel the difference. So this is the smooth side, so this is the side that I want to be stamping on. Okay, and what I've done, well, that's still wet. If I use the bigger tin and I just measure out how much I need to stamp out, I can just put a little mark on here, so I know how far to take my stamping. But the tin that I've actually painted up is a bit narrower than this, but it's okay if I go past. So I need to be coming up to this mark, and also the height. Again, this tin is a little bit bigger, taller. Sorry, my head's in the way. And you just need to make sure that your stamping comes up to this height all along there. So I think I'm going to start off with this main image. So I've already got that on one of my...
Sheila says, why don't you just cut it out?
Why don't I just cut it out?
The bit of rice paper.
Oh yes, oh, you mean before I stamp it? Because I want to stamp past the edges and just select the best bit before I cut it out. And also the tin isn't dry yet, so I do actually want to wait until it's dry to get the right measurement. So that's going to go down round about-ish in the middle there. And just press that down. There we go. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice sharp image, that's lovely. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat there. That's lovely. Then I'm going to use this trellis. This sort of Moroccan look. This is such a lovely, lovely stamp. Let's have that going around here. And maybe we'll have a bit on this side as well. Let's have a go with the pie. Steak and kidney pie. Chicken pie, ham pie,
steak and ale.
Steak and ale, your favourite.
Mm.
I think that is your favourite, isn't it? Steak and ale.
apple.
Actually, yeah, dessert pie is definitely your favourite. And then I'm going to use the chemistry lab. Some things off here. So let's just extend the pattern a little bit. That's a little bit squiff, but I'm not bothered about that. That's good, I like that. Just clean my stamps with a rag. Oh, this is lovely. Let's have a bit of this going on. You can of course do the whole sheet and then you've got bits to use on other projects, which always looks good. But tonight I'm just going to work on this one. That's rather nice. Oh, and we've got some smaller ones here, so let's go with a itty bitty one. And let's fill in a few little areas. With that. Yes?
Karen's asked,
hi Karen.
are there any inks to avoid when stamping onto rice paper?
Yes, distress inks and ones that are water based, because as soon as you use the slap it on it, it will run. So you need something that is like a good hybrid that won't run. Excuse me. It needs to be waterproof when dry. That's the main thing. So just check with the manufacturers. I think we'll go with, let's go with a couple of these. So this is stitched circles. I love this. Haven't used this for ages as well. And this, I've put words in the middle as well. So I know what I'm like, so I've put an arrow on the back so I know which way up to actually stamp it. And I think we'll have a little bit just covering this bit down here. This is rather nice. It's just a squiggly border. So I think we might just have a little bit of that coming in here. That's good. And we've got some squares as well with this one, stitch squares. You know when you go through particular loves of doing particular stamps and then you go off them and you move on to something else new and shiny. Sometimes it's good to really take your stash out and have a really good rummage and a look at everything. So that was stitched circles and stitched squares. That's jolly good. Okay, so we've got it nice and busy now. So now I will put it to one side and I'll let that dry off completely. Even though it looks dry, you need to make sure that it's absolutely dry. So heat gun it, or I put it on my radiator, and I've got one I did a few minutes ago before we started.
Mel asked, is the trellis part of a set or is it available on its own?
It is part of a set, but which is this one, Hibiscus, but I think I'm going to do that as a collector's edition, as I am with all the splats. So this is a particularly nice splatter because it's very, very random, and I can use it multiple times. So I'm going to release these, I think, as collector's editions. So watch this space because I'm actually designing a load of collector's editions.
Caroline's asked,
soon.
can you heat emboss it? Presumably the rice paper.
The rice paper, absolutely, you can heat emboss it, yes. It's tougher than it looks. Okay, so let me just pop these back so I don't lose them. Right, and now that my tin can is dry, can you see that looks really nice? I can now measure this properly. So yes, it will reach the top, and I'm going to cut this out. Instead of doing a wet and tear to get a soft edge, I actually want to get a hard edge on this because I want it to fit perfectly at the top here. So I'm just going to measure that line. Let me turn this around, it'll be easier, then I'm not getting my head in the way of you. So I just want to line that up and check what size that is. So that's good, 10 centimetres exactly. So 10 centimetres. There's my pencil
had a request for a little fairy stamp.
A little fairy stamp. That would be good.
I'll start making notes.
Yes. So there we go, 10 centimetres all the way along. So I'm just going to cut this out as steadily as I possibly can manage. Okay, that's good. That's for another project. Okay, and I'm going to leave the length until I've actually wrapped it round. So next we need to get out our slap it on. So I'm going for the matte one, but if you wanted you could go for the gloss. Where's my gloss? I've only got glass and ceramic here. So it'll have to be matte, unfortunately. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. No, it's matte. That's a shame.
So Karen's asked, when is Christmas arriving?
Oh, I know.
Lorna said usually December the 25th.
True, but I know what you mean. Crate and Craft are having their Christmas weekend in June, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when's it's in my diary under July, isn't it? We're having our Christmas show in July, I think.
Week after.
Now, because I'm using matte, it might mattify all this beautiful, gorgeous metallic paint down. Just wondering whether I can, do you know what, I'm going to cheat and use some Super Thick Slap It On because I want to keep that lovely glossy look. So would help if you had a clean brush. Okay, I'll do that later. You don't need to see me do that. So I'm going to use some Super Thick.
26th of June is Create and Craft. The week after is ours.
So we're doing ours the week after. We're doing the Monday now, aren't we? 3 and 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
26th.
26th. There you go. 26th of June, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m.
And then Facebook on the 3rd of July.
And Facebook on the 3rd of July, which will be different, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm using Slap It On Super Thick all over this instead of the Slap It On Matte because I want a gloss finish because the paint is just so lovely. And there we go. So just do a nice thin coating of that. And then normally I would put a layer on here, but it's a bit thick to do that, so I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to go for the centre bit first. Load up my brush, and that should just fall nicely. So from the centre, load your brush with more Slap It On Super Thick, or Slap It On Matte, or Slap It On Gloss, whichever you've decided to use. And a little bit more. Now that's creasing, so I'm just going to be a bit more careful with that. There we go. And then when we get round to this bit, I want to decide which bit I'm going to take off. So I really quite like this end, so I'm going to cut this one down. And then let's just measure that to there. I don't want it overlapping, so I'm going to just cut that there. So you could cut it before you put it on, but I just wanted to figure out which bit I wanted. There we go. Okay, that's good. Make sure you wash your brush straight away. Put your lid on that. We've been to the vets this morning because our Daisy has had a couple of lumps removed, and we've picked her up. She's fine. They don't think they're cancerous, which is great, but she's not herself at all, poor thing. Because they're both sort of under her armpits. So she's still got the general aesthetic in her. So this will dry, and it will dry glossy. I don't want to force dry it completely because it might bubble up, and be careful, once you've done that it's going to be really hot. So I just want to show you this bit. Oh, see, look at that. Isn't that shiny and gorgeous?
So there's a few questions. Karen's asked, what effect would Slap It On Glass hat give?
Slap It On Glass has got a gloss to it, but it's not as high a gloss as this one. And the advantage of Slap It On Glass, this one, means that you can actually then bake it in the oven. It has the instructions, I was going to say on here, but they're on separate. They're, I think, 130 degrees, isn't it?
It's not very hot.
No, it's very, very cool oven. For about 20 minutes, and that way you can actually wash it in soap and water quite happily. And
Jennifer's asked, can you use this technique to decorate an MDF box?
Absolutely, you can. Yes, we've done lots and lots of projects.
Your drawers there.
Yeah. How can we show that?
Just show one front. Has it got things in?
It has, but you can pull them out. Yeah, so I've done a set of drawers from IKEA, and I've used Slap It On Matte. So I gessoed it first, and then I used Slap It On Matte. Here we go. Oh, let me see whether I can point it up to the camera.
Might be easier to use this camera.
Okay. So this is one of the drawers. There you go. So you can see that I've used the William Morris rice paper. It might be out of stock at the moment, but we have got some coming on order. But it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So this is just, you know, the set of 3 IKEA drawers, and it looks really lovely, and it's a flat mat as well.
So there's this one as well.
Okay. And then, whoops, daisy, then we have this one. So each drawer I've used a different William Morris rice paper on, and it looks really, really effective. Okay, there you go. And here you have it. So you can see the gloss on that. It would help if we turn the light on. Hold that for me, please. Lovely, thank you. There we go.
So Claire's asked, can the rice paper be painted after being stamped and before putting on the tin or bottle?
Yes, of course. Yes, you can. I find it's easier to paint it after it's been put on the bottle, because then it's actually stable in that the Slap-It-On acts as like a clear varnish, so that your paint won't run and it will adhere beautifully to it as well. So I would actually put it on the bottle and then paint it. Yeah, they are lovely, the William Morris papers. Thank you. So I told you it was super quick, didn't I? Yep. And you can do this technique on loads of things. We've done glass dishes, we've done mats, we've done placemats, all sorts of things. And I'm looking to do some furniture, I think,
mug.
this year. Oh yes, mug. But that's not the rice paper, Alfie.
No,
But we have done it on mugs. You're not a mug, are you, darling? Don't forget your discount code as well, Rice20. That's available how long?
A week.
Oh, a week. But use it now before you forget. Thank you so much for joining us. I really hope you have a fabulous weekend. Hopefully, yes, we're going to get watching the royal coronation, which we're looking forward to. So enjoy your street parties or whatever you're doing, and have a lovely week, and we will see you next week, Wednesday 8 p.m. UK time. Thank you very much. Bye for now.